Wild animals are less wild and more human than many humans of this world, says Munia Khan, a renowned poet, writer, editor, and a former lawyer as well. Wildlife needs wilderness not just to survive, but also to live freely. Sadly, many species struggle to survive due to increased human activity and expansion into habitats they call home. And hence, there comes a responsibility to nurture and protect them because we can rebuild a pyramid but can't rebuild a lost ecology or a giraffe, as once quoted by a Czech Republican naturalist Joy Adamson. Good evening, honorable dignitaries, distinguished guests, respected faculties, valued listeners, students of Law Academy, and all my dear friends. A delightful welcome to one and all to the Wildlife Week celebrations 2021 presented by Kerala Law Academy Law College under the auspices of Forestry Club. Kerala Law Academy, established in 1966 by the legal luminary late Dr. N. Narayan Nair Sir, is a seat of excellence in legal education, consultancy, research, and in pioneering law reforms. On this occasion, I am remembering and would like to pay my sincere homage to the godfather of this legacy. This prestigious institution is always in its constant effort for evolving novel ideas and is in the path of deliberation to provide the best rejuvenating experience to the students to foster and bring out the polished versions of their talents and skills through various programs and events of national and international importance. Observing Wildlife Week by organizing various events throughout is a venture in order to highlight the significance and to provide us with enlightening insights on how forest and wildlife matters to the human life in the reality as Academy aims to sensitize the legal fraternity to protect and conserve wildlife. Today, we are blessed with the presence of esteemed personalities on this virtual dais. A smile is a universal welcome, and a greeting is a universal embrace. I invite Advocate Arya Sunal Paul Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Kerala Law Academy, to officially welcome our guest to this session. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Gauri. A nation that destroys its soil destroys itself. Forests are the lungs of our land, purifying the air and giving fresh strength to our people. The good man is the friend of all living things. Respected Dr. A.J.T. John Singh, sir, a renowned wildlife biologist. Respected Advocate Nagaraj Narayanan, sir, our Honorable Director, Kerala Law Academy Law College. Respected Srimati Kasturi Nagaraj ma'am, Assistant Professor, Kerala Law Academy Law College. Respected lawyers, respected faculties, dear students, and all dear participants. A very warm good evening to one and all. I deemed it as a privilege to deliver the welcome address for the second day of Wildlife Week celebration 2021, organized by Kerala Law Academy Forestry Club. Kerala Law Academy Forestry Club aims to sensitize the legal fraternity to conservation and protection of wildlife through various activities. These days dedicated to raising awareness of the world's wild fauna and flora. Our beautiful planet Earth is home to diverse forms of life, which includes innumerable species of flora and fauna. Today highlights is about the leopard in India. Although small in size, the leopard, estimated at around 13,000 in India, is a skilled and versatile hunter. But the fact is that there is a 6 leopard death for every tiger death in country. So today this most important topic is orated by eminent speaker, renowned wildlife biologist, Dr. A.J.T. John Singh sir. Now he is working for Nature Conservation Foundation, WWF India, and Corbett Foundation. Sir is also a member of Research Council of Kerala Forest Research Institute. On behalf of Kerala Law Academy Law College, I extend to you, sir, a hearty welcome. Advocate Nagaraj Narayan, sir, Director, Kerala Law Academy Law College. He is the government pleader for the Forest Department in the High Court of Kerala and also the member Bar Council of Kerala. He always being our catalyst that stimulate us to do our best and for standing as a pillar of strength. I extend to you, sir, a hearty welcome. Professor Harindran K. Sir, Principal, Kerala Law Academy Law College, is a vibrant professor. He has always been a source of inspiration and encouragement. I welcome you, sir, to this session. Professor K. Anil Kumar, sir, an efficient organizer and our management guru, an inspiration and constant motivator to the faculties, students, and everyone in KLA. So I welcome you, sir, to this section. Srimati Kasturi Nagaraj, ma'am, Assistant Professor, Kerala Law Academy Law College, is with us for the introducing main speaker. She is one of the faculty convener in Kerala Law Academy Forestry Club. Kasturi ma'am is a natural lover, always a positive mind personality. On behalf of Kerala Law Academy Law College, I extend you, ma'am, a warm welcome. Sri N.K. Shashidharan, sir, Assistant Professor, Kerala Law Academy Law College. He is one of the faculty convener in Kerala Law Academy Forestry Club. He is the most vibrant member in all academic activities and especially in environmental activities conducted by this institution. So on the behalf of Kerala Law Academy Law College, I extend you, sir, to a warm welcome. I also welcome and appreciate the great enthusiasm and energy shown by all the KLA faculties, lawyers, law students, and all participants from all over the world. On the behalf of Kerala Law Academy Law College and on my own personal behalf, I extend to each and every participant a very warm welcome. I conclude my extending heartfelt welcome to everyone attending this conference through Zoom and social media. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your warm welcome. And also, I take this opportunity to welcome you too into this session. Welcome, ma'am. Everyone who remembers their own education remembers teachers, not methods and techniques. A teacher is the heart of the educational system. This saying is really true. We have Mrs. Kasturi Nagaraj ma'am, Assistant Professor, Kerala Law Academy, our vibrant faculty with an illuminating personality, and most importantly, the beloved wife of the Director of Kerala Law Academy, Advocate Nagaraj Narayan sir. With immense respect, I invite ma'am to introduce our speaker for the day, Dr. A.J.T. Johnson, sir, renowned wildlife biologist who represented IUCN Asian Elephant, Cat, Candid, Bear, Caprini Specialist Group. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Gauri. And Kerala Law Academy Forestry Society. Forestry is now, we are honoring the Wildlife Week. And this is the second day. And I just want to mention a few words. I just want to tell a few words about our beloved Chachan. You all know him as our founder director, Dr. Narayan Nair sir. And we are following his footsteps. And our mission is the accomplishment of all that which he left behind. And I strongly believe that he is no more with us. That is, only his physical existence is not with us, but he is living through us. And I don't want to thank our beloved Chachan. I want to say that we are here because of you, and we are because of you. So my duty is to introduce our main speaker to you, and he is none other than Dr. Azir Jawahar Thomas Johnson. The world know him as Dr. A.J.T. Johnson. He grew up in the southern end of Tamil Nadu and is very much fortunate to live close to the nature, spending time at the foothills of the Western Ghats. He obtained his master's degree in zoology from Madras Christian College in 1968, and he was working as a lecturer. Later, he left his permanent job as a lecturer and pursued wildlife as a profession. Dr. Johnson's doctoral thesis, covering the study on does in Bandipur forest, unraveled the secret life of does and highlighted their role as one of the apex predators in tropical Indian forest. He is an avid trekker, and in his opinion, is rewarding experiences and knowledge he acquired by spending time, often alone, in the forest of Mudumalai Bandipur and Rajaji National Park. He wants to be remembered as one genuinely interested in practical conservation, and he advises his students who are exceedingly brilliant and physically fit to take up wildlife as a career. Dr. Johnson is the author of several research papers, popular articles, and books. He received a Distinguished Service Award by the Society for Conservation Biology, the Carl Zeiss Wildlife Conservation Award, both in 2004, the ABN AMRO Sanctuary Lifetime Wildlife Service Award in 2005, Kirloskar Vasundhara Samman in 2014, and Salim Ali Conservation Award in 2015. So as you can see, you can watch his articles, his interviews through the internet. So please go through it. And I don't want to steal much of your time. Like you all, I am also eager to listen to Dr. Johnson, his experiences, the real field experiences, and also the basics of practical conservation. We are deeply beholden, Mr. Johnson. Sir, please, the virtual dice is yours.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for acquainting us about today's speaker. With immense respect and ecstasy, I invite the accomplished scholar who is an epitome of knowledge, Dr. A.J.T. Johnson, sir, who is a renowned wildlife biologist and had represented IUCN Asian elephant, cat, cadid, bear, and caprini specialist group to enlighten us on the topic leopard in India. Sir, please.
Okay, thank you. Already it was, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay. I'm associated with the Nature Conservation Foundation and WWF India and the Corbett Foundation. I think we can go to the next slide. Okay. This is my first leopard picture. See, I was doing my studies on wild dog in Bandipur in 76 and 78. For 2 years, I was there. So one day, I looked at a tiger kill a large cheetal stag. So I wanted to wait for the tiger. So I had two Kuruba tribal assistants with me. I told them, I am climbing a tree closer to the kill. You people drag the kill closer to the tree. So if the tiger comes, I can take a picture. So I climbed the tree with my camera and everything. And I was sitting, my tribal assistants, from a distance, when they were looking around, they saw it. There was a leopard in the nearby tree. Possibly the leopard also had climbed the tree to avoid the tiger. So the leopard was watching me, and there was no aggression on the face of the leopard. And in those days, I had loaded only a 400 ASA film. I did not know much about photography and all. Later only I changed to 100 ASA film. So I took this picture. Then after some time, the leopard got down and it walked through the bush. And there was a sambar, it was resting, and seeing the leopard, it gave a very subdued alarm call. Indicating, the leopard is not a danger, leopard is not hunting, and the leopard is prepared. So this is my first encounter with the leopard in Bandipur Tiger Reserve. Next. So there are general facts about the leopard. This is the most beautiful of large cats. When you say large cats, we have tiger, lion, jaguar. We don't have jaguar. Jaguar is in South America and Central America. Leopard and the snow leopard. Next to tiger, this tiger and lion, this is the largest cat in India. This means larger than the snow leopard. And when compared to the tiger and lion, it's much more widely distributed in India. The most interesting aspect of the leopard is weight for weight, much more powerful than the tiger and the lion. Say a leopard weighing around 60 kg can carry a 80 kg prey up in the tree, which is either a tiger or a lion. 200 kg lion or a tiger cannot do that. How can the leopard do this? Because leopard has got very powerful shoulder muscles and neck muscles. With that, they are able to carry the prey to top of the mountain, top of the tree, to stay there and very peacefully feed. We'll talk about it, why they do that actually. Next. So this is I am using several pictures by Philip Ross. I am a Bangalore photographer, a good friend of mine. And when you see a leopard, how can you differentiate a male, female? Is it possible? In the case of adult tigers, it is possible actually. The male tiger will have a large roundish head. In leopard also it is possible, but here it's not so visible. It could be female actually. Usually the males will have a large roundish head, both in the leopard and the tiger. That point you have to remember in mind. As you can see, it's a very beautiful animal, leopard. Next. The smallest of the four big cats, tiger, leopard, jaguar, and the leopard all come under the Panthera lineage. These cats can roar, a specific vocalization not shared by other cats. So there are some 38 cat species in the world actually, but these four cats, what you call the big cats, they can roar. This is due to the unique modification of the larynx and the elastic hyoid structure. Because of this, only the four cats, they can roar. Okay. Other 34 cats, smaller cats like jungle cats, leopard cat, and so on, they cannot do that actually. So based on the morphology and genetic studies, 9 leopard subspecies have been identified. Africa, the population is very large. It comes under the Panthera pardus, and our Asian population under the subspecies, Panthera, and our Indian leopard is called Panthera pardus fusca. Okay. And many of this information you can get from many of the books actually. Okay. African population is very large, and they are found almost throughout Central Africa and Southern Africa. Very, very dry areas are often avoided. Next. So, 2 years ago with some of our colleagues, actually there were 4 people from Kerala, good friends. We went to, Botswana. In Botswana, in this Morimi Game Reserve, we saw this, it looked like a young male leopard, sleeping up in a branch actually. Why they do that? Africa, we have the spotted hyenas and the lions, and they are a great threat to leopard. Spotted hyenas may not be able to kill the leopard, but often they rob the kill of the leopard. But the lions can kill them. So the leopards, they're not very comfortable, particularly with a kill, or when they want to rest, they go up the trees. But the main problem we saw in Botswana was, large number of elephants. These elephants, they kill the trees, they push down the trees. So in fact, it is a worry actually, eventually these leopards, may not have suitable number of trees, for them to go up and rest. Because the way the elephants are pushing down the trees in Africa, particularly in Botswana. Botswana has got a very large population of elephants. Okay, next. But in India, wherever tigers and leopards are together, tiger is a great enemy of leopard. And if there is an opportunity, they kill them and eat them. I have seen leopard kills made by the tiger actually. Here in Nagargole, my friend Philip Ross has taken a picture. You can see the leopard up in the tree, and the tiger is below. But the leopard is up in a slanting large branch. Even some of the tigers, they are capable of walking and going closer to the leopard. That way also they can threaten the leopard. In that case, the leopard will go to terminal branches where the tiger cannot reach. And if the tiger threatens further, the leopard will jump down and run away. Okay. So this is a very rare picture. He takes people into the forest very often. So he is able to get a good number of excellent pictures like this. Philip Ross. Next one. Leopards are hardier than any other large cats. Like in Amur leopard, it occurs in Siberia where the winter temperature can go down to -30. Leopards occurs in the hot mountainous areas, Central Asia, where the temperature can go to 50 degrees Celsius. So on one side, they are able to tolerate temperature which is -30. Another side, they are able to tolerate temperature which is 50 degrees Celsius. Carcasses of dead leopards have been recovered from Kilimanjaro in Africa. which is in Tanzania, at altitudes above, 5,000 meters. The Nature Conservation Foundation, they are doing excellent camera trap studies in the Himalaya, and they have recorded the presence of leopards around 3,800 meters in the snow leopard habitat. When both occur in such a place, the snow leopards are threatened because leopards are much more aggressive than snow leopards. And they occur in the humid tropical rainforests also. They're getting into the Thar desert. Reasons are, the Prasabi juliflora. You don't have much of Prasabi juliflora in Kerala, but in other places, in the dry places, maybe you may have some in the Chinnar Wildlife Sanctuary. And the Prasabi juliflora is invading Thar desert, and there are Acacia tortilis, a species from Africa plantations. As a result, even in the Thar desert in Rajasthan, also the leopards are able to go. But Sundarbans in West Bengal, where you have a good tiger population, and the water is saline there, which is avoided by leopard. So this is one factor we should know about the capability of leopard to occur in a wide range of habitats. Next. So as it occurs widely, it has got different names in India. Scientific name is Panthera pardus. English name, people call them leopard or panther. Hindi name is Bagheera or Guldar. Tamil names, Sirte Pulich and Pulli Pulli. Malayalam also, almost the same thing, Pulli Pulli or Sirte Pulli. I used to say Malayalam is the daughter of Tamil, so I'm very closely related. Telugu name is Chinna Pulli. Kannada name is, there are many actually, Chirate, Dodanai, Chitti Huli, Kriba, and so on. There are many names. I have taken these Kannada names from that book written by Sanjay Gubi on the leopard actually. We'll talk about the book also a little later. Next. So what do leopards eat? Being in small in size when compared to tiger and lions, leopards are capable of preying on smaller animals like squirrels, field rat, hare, porcupine. But I have seen them even in down south, there is a tiger reserve called Mundandarai, Kalakad Mundandarai, KMPR we call them as. In a place where there were no tigers actually, I have seen the sambar kill, a large adult sambar female actually, which was made by a leopard actually. So this capability to live on varied prey is one major factor which allows them to occur in varied habitats, including scrub forest. A tiger may not be able to occur in a scrub forest, but leopards are able to do that actually. Leopards often prey on the tree-dwelling langur, arboreal langur. And you may think, how is it langur are up in the trees? How it is possible for the leopard to kill them actually? When that leopard approaches a tree, the langurs become very nervous. Instead of quietly sitting on the top of the tree where they can be safe from the leopard, they jump here and there. The process, even they fall down actually, And leopards, often they kill porcupine, but if they're inexperienced, they can be very seriously injured by porcupines, which can lead to death also. Okay. And killing the langur is a very important thing. I was told once a large tree, Adina cardifolia tree in North India, in one of the protected areas, that staff told me, sir, the langur were sitting up in the tree. The leopard came, simply sat under the tree and looked up, and one langur fell down. This happens often actually, when there is an eye contact between the leopard and the langur, the langur, they do not know what they do, in the process they slip and fall down. Next. This is one interesting picture we took. I have done some studies on the lions, and I have radio collared some 5 lions also in Gir forest. One day, to radio collar a lion, I was sitting up in a tree with a dart gun and the camera. And there was some langur feeding nearby. And in the nalla nearby, I had tied a goat, hoping that the goat will call, the lion will come, for which we had the permission to tranquilize. But suddenly I heard the alarm call of the langur when I saw this leopard coming carrying the langur and coming along this path actually. So I was sitting with the dart, and when I heard the alarm call of the langur, I thought that lions are coming. So I took the dart gun, but when I saw the leopard, I kept the dart gun on my lap. I took the camera, focused, and took one picture. But the leopard saw me. Some animals had amazing eyesight. Leopard, tiger, langur, and peafoals. They have amazing eyesight actually. So I dropped the langur and ran away. But after some time, I was still sitting up in the tree, and it came, crawling when it was about to get dark and took away the langur. They were langur are often killed by leopards, and they love langur actually. So this picture I took in Periyar Tiger Reserve on 25th February 2015. I was with one forest officer from Uttaranchal sitting in the boat. It was about to get dark, and we were about to return to, what you call our Kumali, Tekadi. We were about to return. Then, there were a lot of alarm calls of the Nilgiri langur. The Nilgiri langur also, the black mingi often get killed by leopard in the rainforest habitat. So when we were looking around, why the Nilgiri langur is giving alarm call, one young boy, who was in the boat, he told me, sir, look, 400 meters away, this leopard was sitting at the edge of the lake. So we went there, we took this picture, and since it was very late, getting late, we hurried to take it. Because, there are sums in the Periyar Lake, only experienced boatmen can take them. So you better not to go there when it's very dark. But this leopard was unwilling to get up. We wanted the leopard to get up so that we can take a good picture. But it was simply sitting and watching. Remember, this leopard was seen by the Nilgiri langur, which was some 400 yards away. So look at that powerful eyesight of the langur actually. Next. See, leopards, amazing. The way when they kill a prey, even when they become man-eaters, they go for the throat bite. And a man-eating leopard, when it catches the throat of a human being, that 2-inch long canines and the powerful jaw muscles can stifle and silence a human being within seconds. I would recommend all of you to get the book, The Man-Eating Leopard of Rudrapraya. There is one chapter called Terror. I know Corbett writes about it. I tell you, if you are reading the chapter sitting alone in the forest, you will be afraid. You may think that you may be taken away by the leopard. So he talks about 2-3 incidents where 2 friends are sitting on the ground and smoking hookah. Suddenly one friend, the door is ajar, partly open. He finds the leopard carrying away his friend, who was some 2 feet away only. Another incident, one woman was sick. On one room, she is sleeping. On either side, there are 2 of her friends are sleeping. There is a very narrow window where they put a vessel with water. And suddenly at night, when they hear the sound of the vessel falling, when they wake up, they found the body of the woman was sick on the window actually. So the leopard came and caught her by the throat. These 2 people sleeping nearby, they could not. They didn't know that leopard was there. The leopard had killed the woman, you read that chapter. Please get that book, Man-Eating Leopard of Rudrapraya, Jim Corbett. Okay. There is one forest officer, Kadambi. He writes about a leopard carrying away his dog. In those days, he was sitting, working with his kerosene lamp. What you call hurricane lamp on the table. The dog was lying below the table. He heard the sound of the dog only when the leopard was carrying it away from him. And there is a book by J.C. Daniel, The Leopard in India, published by Bombay Naturalist Society. So there are many incidents narrated, summarized by Daniel actually. Okay. So amazing capability when they go for the throat bite. So I should tell the people, if you are, usually they go for smaller prey. So people, who are small in size, when they're walking in the leopard country at night alone, anything leopard country at night, you have to wrap a towel or a muffler around your neck, because that way, you'll be able to protect you from the killing bite of the leopard, actually, throat bite. Next one. The leopard, I mean, in Botswana, we found even the lions are able to, I mean, go without water for several days. They get enough fluid from the prey, actually. Same capability shown by the leopard also. Tigers don't have this capability. Wild dogs, they don't have the capability. So wild dog and tiger, they can occur only in very lush habitat in areas where there is water. But leopard and lion, it's possible for them to occur in habitats which are very hot and so on. But if there is water in all leopards, they go and drink up. Or without water also, they can manage by getting the fluid from the body of the prey they kill, actually. Okay. This picture I took actually leopard drinking in Nagarkalai Tiger Reserve. And when they drink, you can hear the sound, lop, lop, lop sound, using the tongue, they take in the water into the throat actually. Next. Diet of leopards. Leopards, as I told you, amazing variety of diet. And the literature says, leopards are very widely distributed. In Africa, we have them in Siberia and in many of the Asian countries. If all the species are quantified, the number of species eaten by leopard can exceed 200. Okay. Tigers are said to be clean eaters because when they make a kill, they remove the rumen before eating. But the leopards are not very particular about this. But there could be individual variations. Some of the leopards may remove the rumen also before eating. A hungry leopard may eat 10 kg of meat at one go, but average meat consumption calculated for a year could be 3 kg a day. I mean, the leopards want to feed and survive, they need 3 kg of meat a day. That is important. But leopards, like other large cats, are adapted to the regime of feast or famine. So when there is a big kill, they can go eat 10 kilo. But they can go without food for several days without much harm to their fitness, actually. So here again, I will recommend, the Rudraprayag monitor. One day, they will track the leopard which should have entered into the cave. They seal the cave. For 10 days, they will go and check, whether the leopard is inside or not. So after 10 days, these people, 500 people will go with guns and spear and knife and everything. They'll open that entrance to the cave, the leopard will jump out and run away. So what I'm trying to say, so the leopard, the Rudraprayag man-eater can remain in the cave for 10 days without any harm to itself. Okay, next. So the number of leopards in an area, particularly the breeding females, it is shaded by the abundance of prey. Food is essential. Without enough food, leopards, the density will be very, very low. Tiger number can suppress the leopard number. Like in the Wildlife Institute of India, we have, two colleagues, Vash Pandav and Abhishek Harigar. Now, Vash Pandav is a director of the National History Society, and Abhishek Harigar is working with the Nature Conservation Foundation. And they found in the western part of Rajaj, the river Ganges divide Rajaj into two parts, western part and the eastern parts. Western part, there were no tigers. there were 2-3 tigers only left. And then they found the leopard density was at 24 animals per 100 square kilometer. But in the eastern part, where the tigers were doing very well, the leopard density was only 6 leopards per 100 square kilometer area. The prey density in both the places was good, 80 to 90 animals per square kilometer. So, when there are more number of tigers, leopards, density will be very low because, leopards get killed by tiger. Okay, with severe competition actually. Tiger considers leopard as an enemy. Sanjay Gobi, who has written the book on leopard, has done a lot of research on leopards outside the forest area in Karnataka. We believe there could be some 20,000 leopards actually. H is seeing a good forest officer in Gujarat. Some years ago, he estimated that there could be 1,500 leopards. Okay. Now, with the greater understanding, we believe, that there could be 20,000 leopards in India. Next. There is something called ecological isolation. When I studied my wild dogs in Bandipur, 76, 78, I was thinking about it. how do leopards, doves and tigers are able to live in Bandipur? And there is some ecological and behavioral isolation actually. Okay. Now, behavioral and ecological isolation. So tigers are largely active at night, but the dogs, wild dogs, they are active in daytime. Leopards can also be active in daytime as they have great tolerance for heat. When available, tigers often prey on large prey around 100 kg. Example, sambar. I used to say sambar conservation is tiger conservation. In Paramikulam and all, we have a good number of sambar. In Periyar, no spotted deer. Only sambar is killed and eaten largely. There are gaur, katupotu, but even then, they go for the sambar. But leopard and doves, often kill prey around 50 kg, which is spotted deer. So leopard can survive in an area where there are trees, climbable trees, very important. We saw the picture of the leopard up in the tree and the tiger below. Rocky hills, where the leopard can easily run and escape the tiger or the lion. In the forest, we have a good number of leopards. And when compared to the lions, the leopards are much more agile up in the rocky area. And abundance of smaller prey, langur, chital. So these three things are very, very important for these leopards to survive in a tiger area or in a lion area. Climbable trees, rocky hills and abundance of smaller prey. Here also there is large number of chital actually. Maybe the population could be some 40,000-50,000 chital in Gir forest. Right? Next. So this picture was taken by one Rasping Calls and Uttaranchal. See that the hilly, rocky habitat where a tiger may have problem to run down or walk, but leopards are there are gural, there are barking deer, and feeding on them, leopards are able to survive. We'll talk about man-eating little later. When these animals are poached, heavily poached, barking deer and gural, the mountain goat, the leopards come closer to the village. Next. Communication, leopards communicate with other leopards through chemical signals, urine, scats, and droppings, scrapes on the ground, they scrape, and glandular secretions actually. The long range communication is a rasping call, like someone cutting with a saw. That type of sound they make. Using this elaborate system of communication, contact with other leopards are sought or avoided. Why I'm saying avoided? Because, leopards, two leopards may be operating in an area. They don't fight with one another because fights can be detrimental to both the combatants. Being a solitary predator, tiger or leopard, they can't afford to be injured. A wild dog can be injured, and there are other members who will hunt and it will get food. A lion can be injured because it lives in a group. But tiger and leopard, being solitary, even snow leopard also, and jaguar also, they can't afford to be injured. If they are injured, they won't be able to hunt. And then they will have problem, and they may be killed by the other leopards which are in that area. Okay. Next. So the rasping calls, it's like somebody sawing the timber, we used to hear it more in winter and spring. So there could be a breeding peak in winter, but there's no definite data to prove this actually. So male leopard, will locate the female and through vocalization and scent marking. And after mating, which can, during the mating season period, they are together for 3-4 days and several times they will copulate. The gestation period is around 100 days. The suckle that the females, the suckle the cubs for 100 days. And they become independent hunters by the age of 1 year and disperse at the age of 15 to 24 months. Okay. And tigers often, they raise 4 cubs. And there are reports of them seeing with the 5 cubs also. But it does not happen in the case of leopard. Usually we see them maximum 2 cubs only. I'm not sure about the reason for that. Even in the prairie-rich area like Gir forest, the leopards are often seen with only 2 cubs. 4 cubs, 5 cubs, and all very, very rare actually. It's not reported actually, I will say. And so the breeding females, they protect the prey I mean, same thing with in the case of tiger also. The female will protect an area with a lot of, prey. Definite home range will be protected with a lot of prey. And one dominant male may have 3-4 females in his reach. Same social organization we find in tiger also. Dominant male having 2-3 females, breeding females in his range. So the males, they protect their habitat, the range from other males. And the females protect the range, where they have prey. For prey, the range is protected by the females. For males, the range is protected because of the females, actually. Next. Then leopards are immortal. They die. Various causes get killed and eaten by tiger. Poisonous snakes like Russell's viper or cobra can kill them. People kill them, and for various reasons. Many get killed and caught in the snares kept for wild pigs. This is a big problem. Now in Kerala, the people are shooting wild pigs and burning it, kerosene. I would say that is wrong, actually. You can auction and give it to the people. Why do you waste such a wonderful meat? Auction, and that money can go to the farmers, where the wild pigs are shot. Or you can go for a hunting program, actually. The Law Academy should talk about it, actually. Don't burn it. Don't bury it. Either hunters should come and hunt, giving some money to the farmers, or the government will hunt, the forest department will kill them, actually, but don't bury them, don't burn them, actually. Auction the meat, auction the pig, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 rupees it will go. Because other than the Muslims, everybody will be willing to eat the pork, actually. Their money can go to the farmers. And Sanjay Gopi in his book, he says many leopards get killed on the roads by vehicle, actually. This happens throughout the country, throughout the world, wherever leopards are found. Young animals and cubs, they suffer greater mortality. If the cubs are left alone, then suppose a hyena goes there, it can kill. Organized poaching for skins and bones smuggled to China is a big threat, particularly in the northern belt. Our leopards may be safe from this type of poaching in South India. But in the northern belt, closer to Himalaya, Uttaranchal, they have a good number of leopards. Often, when they get killed, the bones and skins, get smuggled to China. The Chinese, they like to make what you call leopard wine. How do they make it? Put the bones in a huge barrel and pour some wine, and 3 years, 4 years later, they sell them as a leopard wine. That way, they sell tiger wine also. China has got some 5,000 or 6,000 tigers in captivity in the tiger farms. So whenever these tigers die, the bones are kept in huge drums. There they pour some wine, and after 3-4 years, they sell them for good money, tiger wine. Next. Okay, it's a problem leopard. When you catch a leopard like that, it will break its teeth, it will break its claws. After that, it will become unsuitable for release in the forest. It has to go to captivity only. It has to go to the zoo. So the end of the life of this leopard, actually, the freedom is gone forever. Next. Leopard killed in conflict. Now. Next. This is a very interesting. That one Ajay Desai is no more, unfortunately. Great expert on elephants. We went for a survey in those 82, 83 when Ajay joined Bombay Natural Society when we were working on the elephant project. A place called Panagudi. It is closer to Kanyakumari, actually. We went for a survey there. So the forest department sent this person with us called one-armed Ponniya. So his right arm was missing. So he has covered it with a towel, actually. So we asked Ponniya, what was the reason? He told me, sir, in those days, that one army officer in the Panagudi village, he was actually a Muslim officer from the army. I used to bring his rifle during vacation. So those days, they were allowing the officers to take their weapons home. So we went for hunting, shooting, tried to shoot sambar in the nearby hills. So he wounded a pulley. I don't know whether it's a leopard or tiger. He said tiger, actually. I mean, the Punya told us it was a tiger. He shot at the tiger when he was waiting for sambar, but the tiger came with the rifle. He shot at the tiger. The tiger ran away. I followed the blood trail. In one place, the tiger was crouching and it saw me and jumped and got hold of my left upper arm. I had an arwal knife, the heavy knife which people carry. With that, I gave a cut and because it was mortally wounded, the tiger died. Okay, I'm not sure the tiger or leopard, Anyway, he said tiger, it died. Then he went to Donavar. Donavar, there is a missionary hospital actually. I mean, he walked all the way to Donavar. Amazing, willpower and everything. The hand was crushed totally, lot of bleeding. So the Donavar, the missionary doctors told him, no, we can't treat you. We'll send you to Nagarkoil. And they put him in a car, sent it to Nagarkoil, where they had to remove his arm actually. So we used to call him, and they used to call him as Vannam to Punya. So even when we saw him, he was a very strong man. Maybe then he was some 45, 50 years old. He looked very strong. And he should have been very brave also. Next. Black leopards. Okay. And you can see the rosettes under oblique light actually. Okay. And is some recessive gene, it causes this melanism or black leopards. Black leopards are reported in many places. In Kerala, for example, we have them in Periyar. We may have them in Eravikulam National Park. We should have them in Paramikulam also. And some 8 years ago, one male black leopard appeared in the famous Kabini tourism area in Nagarkund. Amazing. After that, large number of people, they came to photograph it. Hundreds of people have taken photographs. And I have gone there many times, but I'm not very lucky to get a picture of the black leopard so far. And they have seen the Kabini black leopard, it's a male, and they have seen the mating with female, but so far they've not seen any black cubs fathered by this. I wish is not important. And, this is influenced by the recessive gene. We'll talk about it a little later. Next. So they are arboreal. They can be. So there was a man-eating leopard in. I'll show the picture of that leopard actually in Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve. And one forest officer, she took a picture of this leopard running up in the trees. There were big trees there. It's like running over rocks. I was amazed to see the leopard, jumping from one branch to another branch at night. You could video film it. There is one forest officer by name Batma. She could, what I'm saying, they're amazing animals. They're exceedingly agile, even in the tree tops. That's the reason they're able to even catch the langur actually. Okay. And next. See that? It's a very beautiful picture taken by Philip. Drinking water. Next. So this picture was taken by one Prakash Ramakrishnan from Coimbatore. In the Nilgiris, he took the picture. Okay. You have a normal male leopard and a female black leopard. Okay. And if both the parents are black, then there's a chance for the birth of black cubs, because which is decided by the recessive genes. Both the parents should be black, and then it's possible for the cubs to be born black. Okay, remember that point. Next. This is a very interesting thing, man-eating leopards. And as I told you, you should read that book, Man-Eating Leopard of Rudraprayag. If you are courageous enough, you should read the book sitting alone in the forest, in some forest rest house. I tell you, you'll be terribly afraid. One of my students, working in Himachal, he has written a book also, In Pursuit of Man-Eater. Sunit Bharadwaj, you can buy that book also. You can also get my book on Jim Corbett's Trail and Other Tales from the Jungle, where I have written about the Rudraprayag man-eater which killed 125 people, and the Panar man-eater which killed some 400 people. There are two reasons that make the leopards man-eater actually. One is a depletion of wild prey by overkilling, overpoaching by humans. I was telling, Uttaranchal, the hilly area, people, Brahmins and the Rajputs, all are there very fond of meat. Many of them have guns, exceedingly fit people. So they kill gural and barking deer. So the leopards, looking for prey, they come closer to human habitation. And when a manager is operating in an area, if men and women sleep outside the house without proper shelter, are women going to toilet into the bushes at night? Are children wandering alone near the houses at night, late in the evening? They're extremely vulnerable to leopards. If a man-eating leopard is operating in an area, nobody should sleep outside. The women should not go into the bushes at night for toilet. And children should not be allowed to wander alone. Because all are very vulnerable to leopards. Next. I think this is the last slide actually. The carbon picture with this a man-eating leopard which he had shot in Rudraprayag. If you go to Rudraprayag, you can see the place. Where is the grave of the leopard and the mango tree from which he shot. But what he wrote about leopard, even when the leopard becomes a man-eater, because it is small in size, it never loses of the fear of man. So killing a human for food is done only in the cover of darkness. But a man-eating tiger, when it becomes, man-eater, it loses all fear of humans and it boldly kills people in daylight. So if a tiger is operating, a man-eating tiger is operating. What is a man-eating tiger? If it start killing and eating people, 2-3 people are eaten, then you can declare as a man-eater. Just attacking people, we can't call it as a man-eater. Okay, people should be eaten by the tiger, and such a tiger will lose all fear of people. And 20 people you go through the forest, it can come and take you one person, maybe the heaviest person, and be taken away. Because tiger being a large animal, it wants to feed on a large prey. Okay. Another thing, if you corner a tiger, it may attack one person and run away. But the leopard, like Bruce Lee, it can attack many people. Have you seen the Bruce Lee movie, Enter the Dragon? Amazing the way he could attack 3-4 people at one jump, actually. There was one report in one incident in North Bengal, West Bengal, actually. There was a leopard in the house, and forest department, the police people, when they to catch, 13 people were injured by that. And it does not happen with the leopard. Tiger actually. Tiger will attack one person and run away, but leopard, will attack several, before it escapes or before it is killed or caught. Next. Maybe the last picture. Oh, this is a man-eating picture of the Timbam Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve. We say it killed the native forest guard also. Eventually, it was trapped and sent to the Vandalur Zoo. And I was telling about that the cave of Padma. She took a picture of this leopard only running in the canopy, and there were some big trees. One branch to another, the leopard was jumping. Next. I think this is the last slide. The location where the man-eating leopard of Rudraprayag was shot by Jim Corbett. His grave, you see the date? 2nd May 1926. He waited up in the tree for 10 nights. I think last night only he'll shoot it. He would have tied the goat as a bait, but the goat was not injured. So after that, that goat was treated as a VIP till it died actually. Nobody killed and ate the goat for mutton actually. Okay. And the mango tree is there, still there. If you go to Rudraprayag, you can see everything. That's the end of my presentation. If there are any questions, you can ask me.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your wonderful field experiences on leopards and also for sharing your valuable words of wisdom. Now we have a feedback session. Those who wish to clarify their doubts may please hand raise so that we can enable the unmute option. And after that, they can unmute and put forward your questions. Thank you.
Sir, can I ask you something?
Please.
Sir, I have read in one of your interview that you were talking about the practical conservation. And I really wanted to know that what do you mean by that? Because two terms, that is, we talk about law, we talk about the various conservation methods and all that. But actually, what is this practical conservation?
The practical conservation, for example, that between the Periyar landscape and our Agasimla landscape, but there is no connectivity. No connectivity for the tigers and elephants and gaur and even for lion-tailed macaque. And we are talking about what you call Aryan Gav corridor, in the Shangota Gap or in the Aryan Gav.
Yes, sir.
Then you have to link those landscapes to Periyar landscape and the other similar landscape. Then that the area will be some 5,000 square kilometer area. It will be good for tiger and all animals actually. And I was telling about these wild pigs. You kill the wild pig, don't burn it. Don't burn it. Yeah. I mean, you auction it. Tell the people who shot a wild pig or a wild boar, people can come and buy it. I think other than the Muslims, many people will be happy to come and buy it for 3,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees. And that money can be given to the villages, given to the farmers. This is a practical, suggestion actually. So I think your law college people should speak about it actually. I mean, in a state like Kerala, I thought Kerala people will, this is called conservation. Conservation is a wise use of resources. The wild pig is a very valuable resource, very, very good meat. Even I like to eat pork. If I'm given the wild pig meat, I'll eat it actually. Okay. And people say that's much better than beef, much better than mutton and chicken and so on. Okay. Don't waste it. Okay. Then another thing, that there are many rivers in Kerala. You can think about good marshy conservation. We have the bluefin marshy. Don't dynamic the river. You may do a little bit of angling and promote tourism, benefiting the people. And then, so several ways, you can think about the practical conservation. Okay. And it's like, in Wayanad, for example, a leopard, a tiger kills a cattle, immediately the people will protest. I mean, the cattle would have gone into the forest and the tiger would have killed it. And immediately they will tell the forest department, come on, you catch the tiger.
Yes.
It should not be the way. That should not be the way. I mean, there should be tolerance actually. If there is a man-eater, you should remove them. If a tiger killing some cattle, you should be able to accept it. Because your cattle goes into the forest for grazing. Okay. And, that Nilgiri tar occurred in many places, they become extinct. I think we can reintroduce them actually. Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, Kerala together, if we do some reintroduction of Nilgiri tar, we can have a population of 5,000 animals. There are many habitats which are empty. So reintroduction is a very, very, very valuable thing you have to think about, So these are practical conservation suggestions actually. This should be done.
Sir, when we talk about the man-eaters, the man-eating habit of tigers or leopards, so is it the habit, the reasons are same? Is it like that? Like when accidentally the tigers, when they do that, or when they are injured, they are forced to eat their alien food. So is it the same that happens with the tigers, with the leopards also? Is it the same?
Yeah, true. An injured leopard, when it's not able to control the natural prey. See, because of leopard, largely absence of wild prey in the forest area. You poach, you remove them. So leopards come closer to human habitation. When they know that when they come to closer habitation, there are dogs. I forgot to tell, many of the leopards in our country, they survive on dogs actually. Okay. On dogs, and they can find a chicken or a goat. And a child wandering there in the late in the evening, becomes a victim. And women going for toilet into the bush. And I was telling about the book, that one my student written in Himachal. There even a man, when he went for toilet into the bush, he was killed and eaten. Okay. So when humanitarian is operating in an area, we should not do such operation. People should be very, very careful.
Okay. So last day, on the first day of our wildlife-based talk, it was about the poachers who turned to be protectors. So I would like to know your opinion on this topic. How can to turn the
Done a
poachers
great, good
protectors?
example in Periyar. The cinnamon bar collectors, they're made into wildlife guides and so on. And Kerala, that way, has set a great model, actually. It should be possible to do that in other areas also, See, but you are in a very fortunate situation. A place like Periyar or Parambikulam, very salubrious climate. People can come there any time of the day, any time of the year. Very nice climate. And wildlife sightings are also good, actually. So that type of tourism can be promoted there, actually, where you can make use of the local tribals who may be poachers and so on, It is possible. It may not be possible in many places, actually, where that, the tourists cannot go because it's very hot weather and wildlife sightings is very poor in such places. But a place like Periyar and Parambikulam, it can be easily done, which they are doing, actually.
So you appreciate the Kerala model, sir?
I definitely appreciate the Kerala model. I mean, it's one state, there is one good. I think the reason is, the politicians and the officers, they care for the poor people. Tribals, you call them as Adivasis,
Yes, yes.
And they care for the land also. It's very, very important. There may be a little bit of corruption that is everywhere. But overall, they care for the land, care for the people in a much better way than many other states, actually. Tamil Nadu, fortunately, now we have a good regime and they seem to be doing well.
Okay. Okay, somebody else has raised the hand, sir.
I request Akhilar to unmute yourself and put forward the question.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I have two questions. One is regarding, I've heard there are types like snow leopard, clouded leopard. Are they what you mentioned about the black leopard? Is it something like a melanistic, that sort of variation itself, or is it a different thing? And the second question is do we have something like a leopard census as an official data on the number of leopards that we have?
See, I will answer the second question first, that when they were sick, tiger numbers were estimated by using the camera traps. Wildlife Institute of India, the National Tiger Conservation Authority. So in the tiger areas, they have estimated there could be some 12,000 leopards. Tiger areas. And the camera trapping is done only in the tiger areas. Okay. But leopards are found in the non-tiger area also. Leopards are found in the non-tiger area also. So they're only, that's the reason, based on our gut feeling, guess, we said there could be 20,000 leopards. And that H. Singh from Gujarat, by sending questionnaires to different people, he thought there could be 1,500 leopards. It's a very fine officer from Gujarat, and he did that actually. Okay. And I did not understand your first question about snow leopard and clouded leopard.
Sir, actually, you were talking about this black leopard, where it is like a pigmentation effect or something like that, right? So the black color is due to that melanistic hormone or something like that. But I wanted to just understand whether clouded leopard and snow leopard, there's these terms I've heard. Are they something like that sort of aberration, or are they different breed as such compared to leopard?
No, we don't see such aberrations. See that golden cat, there are different colored forms are occurring. Golden cats in the eastern Himalaya actually. But snow leopard, we don't find any variation like that. Jaguar, there is a black jaguar in South America. Black jaguars are there. Okay. And leopards, there are black. And in the Similipal tigers, the tigers, there is a small population of tigers, some 20-25 animals. They have a very broad black band. So they look like a black tiger, but they're not black actually.
Sunil sir, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. I'm Subramaniam here. I am a LLM student, second year LLM student. My question is death the only solution for a man-eater, or do you have any technological devices where this behavior can be reversed by any injections or any kind of mutation of cells? Do you have any technology developed for that?
Only thing is man-eater should be either caught and taken away or should be shot. No compromise on it. Kamal Hassan was telling that Mudumale man-eater, which is operating now, should not be killed. We should not talk like that, actually. You know, you should look at conservation from the viewpoint of the people who live there. A man-eater can create enormous fear. Sometime in 4 years ago, there was Dotabata, there was a man-eater for 20 years, no school, no work in the tea gardens. People could not go because, as I told you, a man-eating tiger, it loses all fear. You go in a group and it can come and take somebody. So man-eater should be removed. Either you capture them and take it to the zoos or you shoot them.
Excuse me, my question is, do you have any kind of administration of any injections or technological research going on whereby by administering this particular injection, the man-eating habit can be reversed so that we can save this valuable species? So far, no.
You know, it's not an easy thing to go and inject the drug in the body of the tiger or leopard, you know. Difficult. Don't talk about such things, please.
Maybe hypothetical question, but is any research going on that?
We should do such a useless research.
No,
it's useless.
No,
useless.
Johnson sir, is you are more experienced in the field. So can you share any such incident where you really got scared or any leopard really made you scared? Is there any such incident in your life, in your experience?
You know, if you get my book, Field Days, I have written my first book. There I talk about one incident when Rajasekharan Nair, Kerala officer, he was working in Wildlife Institute of India. He came to Bandipur. When he was doing research, he got killed by a tusker. We both went for a walk. Unfortunately, the tusker was there on the road and I told him not to go. He told me that I have worked in Periyar. I know more about elephants than you know. So he went ahead, he got killed by the elephant. Okay. I ran in one direction. He ran and sat among the lantana bushes, but the elephant located and killed him. I was once charged by a tigress with 2 cubs. Just a demonstration. The tigress wanted to threaten me because we met accidentally. I mean, I have been charged by a king cobra. I jumped back, the king cobra went away, actually. You know, 9 feet long king cobra. And that is called king cobra. You know, it's just a threat display. They don't. But if you read through some of the literature, people say king cobra can chase you for miles. All bullshit. All bullshit. I mean, they very, I mean, they threaten you. I mean, raise the hood for 2 feet high, not 6 feet, 7 feet. And that's also bullshit. 2 feet, 3 feet, they may raise the hood, they'll threaten you, they can growl. But they don't chase you. They don't chase you and kill, actually, So when compared with the viper and cobra, the king cobras are much more noble, I will say. You should. That's the reason they are called king cobra.
Yes, sir.
What I may add to what has been said earlier. Can I be heard?
Please, little louder.
Yes, sir. Now, earlier a question came as to whether there is any method by which we can reverse the behavior. Now, if I am correct, as John sir has said, both in the case of tigers and leopards, humans are not natural prey. And only because they are ailing, because they are having some disease, ailing or aged or injured or for some other reasons. And that may be the reason why they turn into man-eaters. And once they become man-eater, there are only two solutions, as John Sir has said. One is either to put it in captivity after tranquilizing it, catch it alive and put it in captivity, or else to shoot and kill the problem animal. There are no other ways. So, sir, I want to know more on the territorial habits of leopards, because these are both are solitary animals. Tiger and leopards are solitary animals. But we have instances where tiger territories, it may vary from in Kasiranga and all, the tigers are staying in very small territories. And it is said that they even female tigers can be found in small territories as small as 7 square kilometers or 8 square kilometers. But you find in normally average is 25 square kilometers in Periyar and all. We find average 25 square kilometers for female and 30 to 40 square kilometer for male tigers. And in Siberia, it will be around 400 square kilometers for a tiger territory. Like that, has there been any study on the territorial habits of tiger, and what is the exact area of where a tiger is there? Number one. Second thing is
whatever information is available, you have already told.
No,
See, that is
leopards,
prey availability.
Regarding leopards, what is the average territorial limit?
Oh, okay. Leopard also, you know that like, I mean, maximum at the male leopard, 30-40 square kilometer area.
Sir, you said
there
that
are information available actually.
One male may cover the area of almost, may overlap with almost 2 to 3 or 4 females, right?
Yeah.
So the female territory may be very limited to 10 to 12 square kilometers or something like that.
Female ranges will be small. As I told you, it is determined by the availability of
prey species availability, right?
Yeah, and that number of females, that will determine that male territory. I tell you one incident that in first radio collaring of a tiger was done in Chitwan National Park in Nepal. That male had 7 females in his territory. 7 females. Chitwan, National Park in Nepal.
So the male was in control of 7 females.
Pardon?
The male was in control of 7 females, maybe.
We can't say control, but in his range there were 7 females.
7 females.
I mean.
And
then what happened, after 2 years, they wanted to, change the collar. When they dotted that animal, unfortunately, it went and fell into a ditch and died, drowned actually. Then, there was a big fight for that very coveted range where there were 7 females.
Yes.
And for 2 years, it seems there was no breeding at all. Because, 2-3 males were fighting for that range.
Okay. All were injured.
Pardon?
All may have got injured.
Yeah. When there is a fight, definitely there will be some injury. Some injuries, there could be death also. We don't know. Yeah.
And what about tigers are very shy, and leopards, are they also shy as tigers, or a little more?
Yeah. Leopards are also shy. Tigers are also shy.
But
nowadays, look at Ranthambore and all these places, they are habituated to vehicles.
Vehicles, yes.
When you go sit in the vehicle and go, they don't bother. And there are incidents where the tigers, they use vehicle for stalking sambar and killing sambar. They use vehicle as a cover. And they are so habituated,
They have learned to live with the vehicles.
Yeah.
They made it part of their camouflage, and it is great. Now, sir, I just want to know, sir, what about it is said that these leopards are more aggressive than tigers?
No, I told you if you corner a leopard, it can attack
several
people.
Yes.
And the tiger may attack one person and run away, but leopard can attack several. I told you that incident, 13 people got injured in Bengal.
Regarding this man-eating behavior, sir, you said that both the tiger and this leopard is having the same reasons. But Jim Corbett has studied a lot on man-eating tigers and all his books on man-eating.
All those people interested in wildlife should read Jim Corbett books.
Yes, I have read, sir. Only Rudraprayag, the tiger of this leopard of Rudraprayag is the only one tiger. Very few books have been written by Jim Corbett. Is there any other book on, sir, on this area? Man-eating leopards, like what he has studied on tigers.
I mean, I that one Sunil, that my student, he studied 3 leopards. He's written a book. I gave the in my presentation and mentioned,
Yes.
Otherwise, about managing leopards alone, there is no book.
Yes. Because apart from touching one or three some few instances, Jim Corbett has studied on tigers mainly, man-eating. And sir, another thing is, just like we have the software for identifying, camera software for identifying tiger, we also have this camera software for identifying leopards also. I've come across that there is a software wherein leopards caught in the camera trap can be identified through this software.
That's the reason, this Wildlife Institute of India and the NTC, they identified, they thought there could be 1,200 leopards in the tiger areas.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it is not extensive, isn't it, sir? It's only in those areas it can be, those sensors is very much available based on camera trap. Camera trap sensors would be available, isn't it, sir?
The camera trap, you can't place it everywhere. It can be stolen.
Yes. So based on...
So our forest area is used by a lot of people, they go for
Yes.
various reasons. When they see a camera trap, they may damage it or they will take it away. So you can't put camera traps everywhere.
Sir, you said about your estimation of 20,000 and the other another estimation of 15,000. Now, what were the basis for this identification, sir? Is based on sample survey?
You didn't listen to me properly. It looks
Yes.
that 15,000 is based on questionnaire survey.
Yes.
I just see.
How much?
On the 20,000, our knowledge of the landscape. See, I have worked in different places in the country, so my knowledge is broader. And Sanjay Gubi knowledge in Karnataka is very good. So Karnataka itself, he thought there could be some 2,000 leopards. So,
it's based on estimation, based on their knowledge.
Gut feeling, estimation, gut feeling, all together.
Gut feeling, yes. So it's not based on any camera trap or other scientific methods. It's all based on estimation of your experience and your yes.
This is like the Tenali Raman story. He was asked to count the number of crows.
Yes.
He came up with a number. When the king doubted the number, he said, if you want to go again and count. So like that, I will also show you people go and count whether there are 20,000 leopards or 18,000 leopards. Okay?
Thank you so much, sirs. I hope that all the doubts are clear and clarified. Thank you so much, Nagaraj Narayan sir, Kasturi ma'am, and all others who had made this feedback session great and knowledgeable. Due to the absence of further questions, let's wind up this feedback session. It's my privilege and honor to conclude today's session of this Wildlife Week Celebrations 2021 by extending word of thanks to the very special invitees who have graced this function with their esteemed presence and wise counsel. Firstly, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to AJT Johnson sir for spending your valuable time with us and also for your most precious words that filled us with the awe and joy of your wisdom. We are truly enlightened, sir. I use this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude towards Advocate Nagaraj Narayan sir, Director, Kerala Law Academy, Mrs. Kasturi Nagaraj ma'am, Assistant Professor, Kerala Law Academy, Professor Harindran K sir, Principal, Kerala Law Academy, Anil Kumar sir, Professor, Kerala Law Academy, and N.K. Shashidharan sir, Professor, Kerala Law Academy, for providing us with such a wonderful platform. I also extend My warm gratitude to Advocate Arya Sunil Paul Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Kerala Law Academy, for the wonderful welcome. I would also like to thank our dedicated and determined faculty conveners and student conveners for their unending support, which made this event a grand success. I would also like to extend my gratitude to the IT team for providing us uninterrupted services throughout this event. Last but not the least, I also extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you for your support, cooperation, and patience. The message is simple: love and conserve our wildlife. By wishing a happy wildlife week ahead, this is SR Gauri signing off. Once again, thank you all.